Hurricane Maria's winds made quick work of Puerto Rico's trees and roofs. Torrential rain has flooded streets. Maria made landfall early Wednesday on Puerto Rico's southeast coast as a powerful Category 4, then spent the day clobbering the rest of the island.
On September 20th, 2017, Hurricane Maria, a Category 4 hurricane with winds as fast as 155 miles per hour, hit the island of Puerto Rico. A burden was placed on the people of the island, similar to the burden that was faced by Franklin D. Roosevelt during one of our nation's darkest moments, as said in his inaugural address. With this pledge taken, I assume unhesitantly the leadership of this great army of our people dedicated to a disciplined attack upon our common problems. This is Puerto Rico's Resilience in Hurricane Maria. Good afternoon, I'm Elliot Mestre Velasquez. My research question was, to what extent did the response to 2017 Hurricane Maria in Puerto Rico demonstrate the courage of its citizens in the face of adversity? My thesis for this argument is, the response to Hurricane Maria in Puerto Rico revealed both the resilience of its citizens and highlighted the need for significant reforms in, first, disaster management, second, resource distribution, and third, social justice. When we look at the disaster management system, the discrepancies between the expectation of a 10-day window for self-sufficiency and the urgent need for help highlights the inadequacy of preparedness measures in anticipating the severity of the storm. And we were cut off from the rest of the world and from each other, advocating for the WHO's in Hurricane Maria. Dina Lopez, at Texas Tech University, PhD student in technical communication and rhetoric, intricately mentions island residents did not have 10 days. They needed immediate help, resources, food and water, and medical needs. Second, inadequate delivery and execution. Borges Mendez, an associate professor of urban planning and community development at Clark University, highlights how federal bureaucracies such as HUD, FEMA, SBA, and EDA were slow to respond to the mandate. The lack of preparedness and strategy within the federal government meant that Puerto Ricans did not receive the necessary support as they should have. According to the White House, today, FEMA has obligated more than $30 billion to help Puerto Rico recover from Hurricane Maria. Additionally, HUD obligated $19 billion in community development block grant disaster recovery funds to assist Puerto Rico in rebuilding inclusive and resilient communities. Although the government did financially support the recovery, they didn't make sure the resources were allocated correctly. Because if they were, Puerto Ricans would have been back up and running in a few months. Puerto Rico's local government does not have the best reputation because of its mismanagement. This was proven by years later when Ricardo Rosselló, the governor of Puerto Rico at the time, was related to a scandal called the Telegram Gate scandal, where he was seen messaging other officials in the government vulgar messages that included racist, homophobic, and misogynistic comments intended to offend individuals in several groups. And then they still decided to put them in charge of distributing the resources. And last of all, systemic neglect of Puerto Rico. Samantha Rivera Joseph, a desertating Drexel University PhD student et al., states, the storm left approximately 1.7 million people, which is half of the population, without drinking water, and more than 1.5 million residents on the island without power. By comparison, 280,000 were without power in Texas following Hurricane Harvey, which made landfall on August 25th, 2017 as a Category 4 hurricane. Puerto Rican households were average without electricity for 84 days and without water for 68, with 83% of remote households without power for 3 months. The rate at which the island was assisted was extremely lethargic. Puerto Ricans were not receiving the help that was critically needed for them in this moment of desperation and urgency, to be helped months later after the event hit, while Texas received instant help ensuring that power was restored. Donald Trump, President of the United States, when asked in an interview with Mike Huckabee, former governor of Arkansas, about him launching paper towels at Puerto Ricans, as seen in the image taken by Bucci Evan on October 3rd, 2017, Trump stated, "They had beautiful soft towels, very good towels. And I came in and there was a crowd of them, loving everything. I was having fun, they were having fun. They said, 'Throw him to me, throw him to me, Mr. President.'" Donald Trump's main purpose for visiting the island was to be informed of the status of reconstruction on the island. Instead of staying on task and being professional, he decided to toss into the crowd towels towards the one that was there to see him. My solution for this is to improve contingency plans by providing electric generators to the general public, providing containers for water, since people were left without water for a while, and educating citizens on how to prepare for future problems. However, there are some limitations to this solution, which are mainly related to money, since getting all of those generators is going to take a lot of money and time, and distributing them as well. And to power these generators, you need oil. And Puerto Rico, although it has a good amount of oil, it's gonna need a lot more, since we're gonna be distributing generators. Thank you.
All right, 2 questions for you, Elliot. First up, what evidence did you gather that you didn't use, and then why didn't you use it?
I had some evidence related to other governors, but they were more small scale that didn't affect the whole island, so we didn't use it because it wasn't as specific.
Okay, and how did your conclusions or your solutions that you came up with respond to other research from sources that you saw, what they thought?
Some sources that I saw thought that it was a good recovery, but it was only certain parts, and they were disregarding other parts of the island.